Hi, this is Ryan Oakley, and this is the free online course, Create a Gorgeous Website with Squarespace, a step-by-step guide for beginners. This is video 7, and in this video, we're going to be creating our homepage. Okay, now we're going to go work on the homepage. So let's go, I'm just going to go show you what the homepage looks like in Safari, in the live site. The text and images are going to be pretty straightforward, so I'm going to go and populate those without boring you to death. I do want to show you this button. There is some sneaky little things with text that I'm going to show you, like putting the captions over top of the images. Pretty straightforward stuff. And what else did I want to show you? Those buttons were important, or that button, and then there's buttons at the very bottom here. There they are here. Then if I scroll all the way back to the top of the site, I've got a Facebook like thing here as well. So a couple of things about the homepage. Obviously the homepage is extremely important. So everything that I have on this page has been picked out on purpose. Hi, I'm Ryan Oakley. I want this to be, I've only got a few seconds of this person's time. I want to be able to kind of capture them right away. So just hello, it's kind of like a thank you for being here. My tagline is, these are some of the stories of strangers I've met in Nelson, British Columbia, my hometown. So what I'm hoping to do is get them to scroll down and read some of these, because if they read some of these and look at these images, they're going to understand the project, fall in love with the project, and hopefully, after a few of them, they go, hey, you like the photos, you'll love the book. So here I click them, or I lead them into clicking onto the page that has my book for sale. So that's something important. The other thing that's really important, because I've only got a few seconds of their time, is to show them that I've got over 7,000 people that like this page, the Humans in Nelson page. Now it doesn't show here, but if I was logged into Facebook and Safari and Facebook noticed that I had other friends that like this page, they would actually show the people's photos up here, which helps for something called social proof. I'm actually going to show you what that looks like when I'm logged into the Humans of Nelson page in Google, because Google knows that I'm in Facebook here. So here's what I'm talking about. All these images are friends of mine. So what I'm hoping with this very local project, Humans of Nelson, they will, a new person would also see their friends liking this page, and then they're more likely to like it as well. And if I can get somebody to like the Facebook page, then I'm going to be able to stay in touch with them through Facebook, which is very important, because knowing that somebody's going to leave, they might find themselves on this page, they're probably not going to stay very long. They might read a few of these and think great. They probably won't buy the book if they don't know the project, but if I can get them into Facebook and show them new images, new portraits every day or every week or whatever, they're going to start to really fall in love with the project, and then they'll come back and buy the book. So this Facebook page being featured prominent on the website is very important. So we're gonna build this site. I'll go ahead and do all the text and images, and then I'll come back and show you how to do this Facebook stuff and the button. All right, see you in a second. Okay, I've put in all the text and all the images. It took a little bit of time, but it was good. I want to show you a couple things with the images in particular. You'll notice here I've got these captions in the actual image. So if I go edit into the page content, I just want to show you how I did that so you can see it. There it is. It gets all loaded in. Okay. So if I click on one of these images, I can just double click it to get all the info. You can see that there's a caption overlay, and caption overlay allows me to put that text in there. Another thing I did is I made sure every single one of these images, I clicked on the light box, which allows people to click and see the image really big. So keeping in mind that these images on this page are the primary content. It's the thing I want people to see and read and absorb. So they're really important. So I'm going to go over to my site and just show you what some of that means. So if somebody wants to see this photo a little bit bigger, they can see it like that. Anyways, okay. So now what? Let's do the buttons. Okay. So the button comes underneath this photo, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, it comes underneath that photo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the teardrop. I call it the teardrop. I don't know what anybody else calls it. Teardrop, and I'm going to go and find a button. There's a button. Find a button. And right now it just says learn more. I want it to say, like the photos, you'll love the book. So I'm going to type that in. Like the photos, question mark, you'll, let me capitalize EY, you'll love the book. And where do we want to click it to? I want to click it to the click-through URL to go to the book page. So if I go under content, it'll show me all the pages I've got made for the site. So I'm going to click book. And that looks good. I don't need it to open up a new window. Size is important. So in this one, I want the large button for this, and center aligned is perfect. So I'm going to click save on that. Let's go ahead and customize this button because we know we don't want it black, we want it orange. So let's go save all the changes we've made to this page and head over to design and the style editor. And at the very bottom is where you're going to find the buttons. So this block, large button block, is what we're looking for. So we're going to change this to rounded, and just trying to remember if I have solid on this. Nope, don't have solid. So we change this one to the outline as well, which looks good. And then that button color again is FF9900, which is that orange, and that looks really good. So we'll save those and go back into our page. So now let's go add some buttons at the very bottom of the page. Got a lot of photos, so I got to scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay. So if we just double click within the body, should open up the editor. And again, just get down to the bottom there. Okay, so we're going to add two buttons. Going to add a button, and this button is going to be, again, leading to the book. This one's going to say get the book. And it's going to point back to the book. And it's going to be large as well and centered. That looks great. And then we're also going, so we can save that, we're also going to create another button down here. And I like the two buttons at the bottom. The reason I have two buttons at the bottom is I'm thinking if somebody got to the bottom of all those photos and read them and enjoyed it, maybe they enjoyed it to get the book, but maybe they still weren't quite sure. So the button underneath is going to be a learn more button, which is going to take them to the about page. So there's learn more. We're going to do, this one's going to be a small button because I do want the get the book to stick out a little bit more. The URL this time is going to be, again, content, but this time it's going to be the about page. So that's good, and it's going to be centered, and that's perfect. So we can save that. Let's go ahead and save because we're going to go edit this small button to make it look how we want. So if we go back to home and design, style editor, scroll to the bottom, and this time you'll see the small button. So we are going to go with the outline, and we are going to go rounded. And this color, we don't want it to be too dark. So I'm going to go with something quite light. Let's just go with something like that. Definitely wanting people to click to the book page rather than learn more, but it's there as an option. So we'll stick with that, and we'll go save. And now let's go work on adding the Facebook like stuff to our page. So head back to the page, to the home page. Double click inside the content blocks so that we can make the edits. So I've got a Facebook page, the Humans in Nelson, BC, and this is a very important page for me. This is where most of my activity goes as far as photos and stories and stuff. And so this is where I engage with my audience the most. And you know, I promote the book here as well, but I really build relationships with the fans of the project through this site. So that's why the Facebook like button is so front and center. So let's go add this like button now. So what you need to do for this is get to this developers.facebook.com like button plugins page. Okay, so I've got the Facebook page URL entered in here. The width is 400. The layout is standard, and then I want to show the friends' faces, and my action is like. So everything looks good. So I'm going to hit the get code, and this is the only bit of coding that we do with the whole Squarespace site, and I'll show you what to do with it. So we highlight this top section here, and I press Command C or Control C to copy it to my clipboard. I go back to our site, and I'm going to actually get out of our page for a second, go back to home. I'm going to go to Settings. I'm going to go at the very bottom under Advanced, and in here you'll find Code Injection. And under the header section, I want to inject this code. Now, I have no idea what this actually means, but I know that it works, so I just copy it in there. And then I click Save, and I want to go back to my page. Okay, so we're back on the home page, and now I can double click inside my content blocks to make my edits. And in here, I want to insert a code block. So I found the code block here. I can delete this hello world stuff. And when I go back into this Facebook like button, it says place the code for your plugin wherever you want the plugin to appear on your page. So I copy and paste that code back into my site under here, and I can go save. And now it's there, but I need to need to save this and maybe refresh the page to be able to actually see it. Sometimes coding is odd like that. It's got to kind of be refreshed for it to be visible. Okay, so there it is, and it looks great. Now, while I'm doing this Facebook stuff, I might as well go down to the very bottom of the page and add this same code into my footer. So at the bottom, the footer is content that will show up on every page that you have, not just the home page. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this and scroll down to the bottom and find it. And it works just like any other bit of content. I can go ahead and add the code here and erase the hello world and copy this code back in and save it. So again, the code block doesn't show anything because I need to refresh the page, but at least I can move the code block so it's next to the Powered by Squarespace site stuff. So now if I save that and refresh the page, it should show up, and then I can play around with it a little bit more. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Okay, there it is. I can already tell there's something a little bit screwy with the content block. It's because there's a social links block here, which I just don't have any social media connected to my site. But if I did, that's where the social media links and icons would show up. So I'm just going to delete that. And then now my code block takes up the whole space there. On my site, I'm just having a little fun. I go powered by love cookies in Squarespace. So let's do that. And let's also add in the copyright underneath. Cool. And now we can save that. This this footer text I want to adjust. So I'm going to go into the home section and go into design and the style editor. And if I click on that, I'll get this footer text option. And I think all I really want to do is I want to make the text smaller, and I think I want to make the text the same as my normal text with it, which is this Georgia. So that's going to be just a little bit less prominent, which is good. I'm going to go and save that, go back to design, and just I'll just go ahead and click this arrow button and just have a look at the site, this page, and see if I'm missing anything, but I think it looks pretty good. I do notice I missed a comma here, which I'll go fix. But everything else is looking good. My button is good. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, all these wonderful photos, get the book, learn more, and I'll just do a refresh so that Facebook stuff shows up. Shows up here. Let's just make sure it shows up at the bottom too. All right, shows up at the bottom too. Looks awesome. That's great. So we're done the home page. Next, we are going to try to sell something. I've got a book with this project that I'm trying to sell, and so let's go set that up.